So you're saying you think Cam's gonna have a bounce back year?
Yep. I think Russell
Russ?
Wilson.
I like Russell a lot this year.
Yeah, I think.
I always like Russ.
Yeah, and I like your Mariota. I like Mariota.
I think Mariota will do really
If he
good.
can stay healthy, you can't. Like at the end of last year, he was dynamite until he broke his leg.
And of course, my boy Carr. I just think he'll even get even better, which he was.
You know who I'm really hoping for a bounce back year? Lamar Miller. I
Yeah,
love Lamar, but
I'm
He's,
down on
right
Lamar.
now, he's the keeper on one of my leagues, so I hope he has a bounce back
I
year.
like Lamar. I like Lamar. I like the Texans, but God, last year.
I'm
He got all the carries that everybody wanted to finally see him get, and he did not do much with it.
Well, that and I also don't know. I don't know if he can.
But
stay
I mean,
healthy,
with
man.
Brock, as you would say, Assweiler as your quarterback,
Yeah,
I mean,
Ben
it's hard to
Osweiler.
run.
Ben
Yeah.
Osweiler is on
An ass water and shit. See, but going back to the Bears, I think Jordan Howard. But some people are saying if you have to go
Solid, man.
if you're going the first 2 rounds and people are looking at it and you're like, who has the better, I guess, worst bust possibility? People are probably going to say Jordan Howard. They're going to say Melvin Gordon. They're going to say J.J.
Well, off his season last year, Jordan Howard.
Oh, I think he's a beast.
I mean, honestly, the best thing with running back is having opportunity too. And he's gonna have every chance, like every carry.
Yeah, and he
can catch the ball.
As long as they can air it out a little bit, I feel like he'll be fine. But
they're gonna have a bet. Like if you don't remember, they started Matt Barkley for like 5 games last year.
I mean, you're talking, and I mean, let's be real. Jay Cutler wasn't much better than Matt Barkley last year either.
Well, that's where my boy Trubisky comes in. He's gonna help Jordan Howard out.
I mean, they better pray that Trubisky gets that 2 slot. Otherwise, it's Mark Sanchez coming in as the backup.
Jordan Howard better be praying. That whole offense. And speaking of that, there without Cameron Meredith, man, I don't even know who the hell they're gonna throw the ball to.
Exactly, and I would actually like Cameron Meredith if they had other options. Because I think Cam Meredith can be a good sleeper, but if he's the main option.
You see, and that could hurt Howard a lot. That could be just like McCoy. What I said about McCoy, if he's your only offensive weapon, what are you gonna do, man? Like, I mean, they could help or it could hurt.
Exactly, and you just don't know until they play the games.
So it's really
honestly,
risky.
the worst person on the Bills I feel bad for is Tyrod.
Yeah, well,
they're basically setting him up to fail.
That's the reason why I believe in Melvin, because I just think he has so many. He's not gonna be like the only guy they have to teams are gonna have to worry about. Where if you say Gurley, most likely you don't really have anything. You got Jai and
if the Chargers can
McCoy,
stay
Howard.
healthy, one being Keenan Allen, I can't tell you how consistent Phillip Rivers actually stayed and how many injuries they had to that wide receiver core.
And I was looking at the Chargers' schedule, and honestly, their schedule, I mean, it's kind of hard, but they got some pretty easy games.
Honestly, you avoid the 2 weeks against Denver.
Yep.
Avoid them.
Well, see, but you also play the Chiefs twice, too.
Yeah, I mean that's the bad thing about the division. And then you have the
They got a tough division.
Yeah,
I'm talking about outside the division.
Yeah,
but yeah.
And I was looking at their defense because
I'm pretty sure they played the AFC South, right? Or that's like the Titans and Jaguars. I know that
everybody loves to play that. I mean, the Texans
yeah.
do have a good defense.
Yeah, I was looking to pick up their defense because I don't have a defense in one league. I just didn't draft one. I just drafted players. And I was gonna pick one up later. And I was looking at the Chargers defense. And I was thinking I might just pick them up. They look like they got an easy schedule.
Yeah, see that
easier than everyone else.
That's something that worried me about Amari. Is that
the schedule?
You're gonna have to play the Broncos secondary, which is obviously the best secondary, if not second best behind the Seahawks.
That defense still going strong.
And then you got the Chiefs. Well, you got Marcus Peters. You're gonna have to play him twice. And then you also got the Chargers, where you're gonna have to play Casey Howard and Ferret twice. Man, that man cannot get a break.
That's true. That's true.
That's the reason why. I mean, I'm always high.
I mean, it limits his ceiling.
Yeah,
exactly. It limits his ceiling.
And if Carr's just going to keep going to Crab and the red zone.
Honestly, that's a big thing. He's got to get those red zone targets, not get those touchdowns called back. But Amari's a good enough talent, in my opinion, that if he's right and Derek Carr's right, it doesn't matter which corner's guarding him. Just like Antonio Julio, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
even with AJ Green, he can go up against one of the top corners in the league. It doesn't matter.
See, all right, we're going to go from one high-paid quarterback to the next. Matthew Stafford. When are you guys expecting from him? The highest-paid player in the NFL. Is it NFL history now?
Yeah.
NFL history now.
$92 million guaranteed.
All right. First of all, would you give him the money? Second of all, do you think he's gonna exceed that contract?
Honestly, all right. Matthew Stafford. I mean, I think if you're the Lions, I mean, what else you spend your money
Yeah,
on?
I completely agree.
It gives you your best chance at making the playoffs.
Exactly.
And so, I mean, if you think that, I mean, if they were to let Matthew Stafford go, who else is going to be their quarterback? And then you're looking at some terrible years again where they're going like 0-16 again.
Yeah.
I think he deserves the money.
Yeah,
I think so too. I mean,
you got about 20, like, if you even want to say, like, 20 legit quarterbacks in the league.
oh yeah, I
Franchise
think
quarterbacks.
what this really helped out, and like other quarterbacks love it, is like Aaron Rodgers is looking at that smiling because he's like, oh,
Yeah,
Green
man.
Bay, get your pockets ready.
See, whenever I saw Carr get the money, too, as a fan, I was like, please, even if this guy if he ends up just falling off a
It's your
cliff,
best chance.
please pay this guy.
I mean,
Give
you
him
being a
whatever
Raiders
he's
fan,
worth.
you know, like,
Oh my God! I do
y'all
not want
weren't
to go
that
back to
relevant
Jamarcus
until
Russell.
Derek Carr started.
Yeah, I do not want to go back to Jamarcus Russell, Matt Schaub, and Jason Campbell. Please, for the love of God, just give this man,
Carson Palmer.
literally give him $150 million if you got to.
Why?
I do not care if he falls off a cliff. Make him fall off a cliff for us.
Yeah.
You know, that's I just.
At least we tried and we didn't let him go, and then he was awesome somewhere else.
Exactly. That's what I'm not gonna blame the.
The thing
Lions
with Derek
at all.
Carr that I would say though is like Derek Carr's much younger.
Oh yeah. I don't completely understand.
How old
But
is
Stafford's like
Stafford?
30.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
I'm
I mean,
saying.
he's not that.
under 30.
And honestly, in quarterback.
Yeah, and quarterback.
I mean,
years.
it's
He's got
See,
about 5.
Oh, he's
7
which
years,
is
5
it's a
years.
5-year contract. He's got
Yeah.
5 years left.
Yeah.
I like Stafford, and I like some of the pieces around him. Besides, like who's going to be like the starting running back,
Mhm.
the Abdullah and Riddick, and then they got Tate and Jones.
I'm a big fan of Marvin Jones.
I like Marvin Jones. I
Another
really
one that
like
didn't
Golden
get
Tate
mentioned.
is slipping in.
Yeah, I mean,
drafts.
Marvin Jones is the
Hey.
guy that like through 4 weeks last year was like the #1 wide receiver in fantasy.
Hey, don't forget about my boy Eric Ebron.
And Ebron too.
If he can stay healthy,
Oh,
I thought Ebron.
he's so athletic and could be so
Yeah.
good if he stays healthy.
I thought last year he was going to ball out. I went and picked him up in my fantasy league.
Hey, but he was hurt like the whole season.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
week
You had to
one.
literally wait up until game time. Ah, nah, he's out.
Hey, that's my boy Ebron for you, bro.
But I think if they could get like one more good wide receiver 1, and have Golden Tate and Marvin like the 2 and 3.
But I mean, he's another like underrated quarterback that people don't mention much. That
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
really
really
consistent since he's been in the league.
Definitely fancy. I love him.
I mean, ever since Jim Bob Cooter became the offensive
Go ahead,
coordinator.
go ahead with your Jim Bob Cooter.
Jim Bob Cooter.
Go ahead with your
Hey,
Jim
look
Bob.
at the stats, man. Ever since Jim Bob Cooter became offensive coordinator, Stafford's been balling.
Hey, we can talk about Jim Bob Cooter. We can literally say Jim Bob Cooter about 47 times.
Hey, JBC.
You know, I believe in Jim Bob
JBC.
Cooter too. We're Jim Bob Cooter fans.
And Jim Bob Cooter, I believe.
Exactly.
Cooter for press.
See, but with the Lions, you've seen Barry Sanders walk away early. You've seen Calvin Johnson walk away early. You better lock up Matthew Stafford. That's why I do not have one single problem.
Well, that's
with
one
this.
thing. That's a good point too. You actually have a player that wants to stay in Detroit.
Exactly. Literally pay this man.
Because this
whatever you
man,
have
his
to pay.
contract was probably about to expire maybe after this season. So, I mean, you're
Yeah.
actually talking about a player that actually agreed to stay in Detroit.
See,
So, if you're a Detroit fan, you have to love it.
See, we're gonna go to another quarterback that needs to get paid. Kirk Cousins, my man, pay my man.
Give
Oh.
him some years. He's
Man.
getting paid. He's
Oh,
getting
yeah,
paid.
yeah.
But give him
Yeah,
some
give him some
years,
years.
man.
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah, come on.
I mean, come on.
Dude, Redskins, what are you gonna do? You gonna go back to Rex Grossman? Come on, bro.
Colt McCoy.
Colt McCoy, you gonna go back to Colt McCoy? I can't even name
Redskins,
somebody
who
before
do you
that.
think's gonna be better? I mean, I got it when they had drafted RG3 and that stuff. Like maybe they still thought RG3 was gonna be good. They're past that.
Yeah.
RG3 is so good that he doesn't even have a job in the league right now.
Exactly. That's my biggest thing is with the Lions and with the Raiders. They did what they needed to do because they did not want to see another person walk out there.
Agree. I mean, as much as I don't even like with my Bengals. I mean, contract wise, we're not talking huge
No,
money,
get rid
but
of Andy Dalton.
But I mean, I don't like Andy Dalton that much, but he actually made us consistently good.
Yeah,
and
I
I
can
think
respect
I think when you come from a bad team like how the Raiders were and how the Bengals were, you find that quarterback that actually makes you consistently good. You have to keep him.
Yeah, exactly. But keep him until it falls off. Until he falls off, like they did with RG3, which he was on his rookie contract when he did fall off. But if he would have continued to play like he did his rookie year, they would have gave him money.
Yeah, it's so weird how he dropped off the way he did.
Yeah, exactly. I would completely agree with that. But see, if you give Kirk Cousins, I think he might be 30, around
I
30.
don't think he's 30. I wanna
He
say
might not even
27-ish.
be. It's just either way. In quarterback years, he's fine.
Exactly.
If you want to give him a Matthew Stafford 5-year contract, he's gonna be good for 5 years.
And see, some of these players, like Drew Brees, like he just hit off the ceiling whenever he got like a little bit later in his
I
career.
honestly think like I may be 100 and dead before Tom Brady and Drew Brees out of the league.
I'd bank on Tom Brady. I don't know about Drew Brees. I'd
Let's
bank
just
on
keep
Tom
going,
Brady.
man.
See, but that's the other thing. What are you gonna do with Breeze? Breeze is coming up on a contract. He's one long-term deal.
He's one that I can't give 5 years like they gave Stafford, but
Yeah.
he's one that I would pay annually just as much money as Stafford got.
Franchise tag him if you have to, or just give him a 2-year, 2-3
He
year
deserves
deal.
it. I mean,
50
especially with
million.
what he's done for New Orleans.
Yeah, exactly. And
He deserves everything that they.
If you have somebody who's won you a Super Bowl, you literally wait until he retires in that jersey.
Right.
Unless you're, Peyton Manning, that was a little bit different because you could have had luck. Obviously, I don't really blame them for that.
That was the best thing that they could have done with the situation.
Yeah, exactly. I have no problem with that. But see these Lions and these Raiders and these Redskins, and eventually it's gonna be like a Mariota or Buccaneers or with Winston. Pay these people, bro. You're not gonna get another quarterback at least for like another 5, or you're gonna test your luck trying to find another quarterback better than that. Pay them whatever you have to. Coming from a Raiders fan, if they would have paid him $200 million, I would have been like, okay.
I just think
cool
you have
with
to
it.
make sure with how much money you give that you can surround the player that you give that money with talent.
Yeah,
Because
stop being an
in
Andrew
the
Luck
case of
Colts.
the Indianapolis Colts, you gave
Yeah.
all that money to Andrew Luck, incredible quarterback, but you put no money into the offensive line to protect your best asset.
And hey, obviously he shows no effects of this, but Aaron Rodgers is kind of the same way. They have not shown.
Luckily, he is mobile.
Yeah, and luckily he's just one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. I think Luck can reach that if you put some fucking people in his offensive line.
I
Give him
mean,
some
Luck
people.
has the people around him. When I say people, I mean like receivers.
Yeah, he has
I
the
mean,
receivers.
He's got
obviously.
Frank Gore still. I mean,
He's
how
another-
old is Frank
Hey,
Gore?
he's
He's
still
another
balling?
one. What does it take for the freaking Colts to have an actual running back?
Yeah.
When Peyton was there, they had Edgerrin James, and that was it.
Yeah.
They had Joseph Adai for about 2 years, and then he died.
Well, they got some good
Fell off the
receivers.
face of the planet.
They got good receivers. He's got people around him. He just needs a line.
I agree,
Yeah.
and I also think Luck's one of those quarterbacks that's so good. He's like a Brady and a Breeze, where you can have
Yeah.
no name wide receivers, and the man's gonna go out there and ball.
But they're taking advantage of that to a sense.
They
So
are, but
that's
I
what
mean, you
the-
could not put money in wide receivers and just have.
Yeah.
If you gave Andrew Luck all that money and just put a ton of money in the offensive line, put some money in defense,
Yeah.
I mean, they would be a playoff team in that division every single
Or-
year.
Yeah,
Last
we can be
year-
out there being receivers. We
Or
can go.
Literally, they could have us 3 out there.
Or like
We
last
could be
year,
the 3 wide receiver package.
Hey, where we go for tryouts?
Last year they took Philip Dorsett with their first round pick. Like, bro, you need an offensive line. You need some
Yeah,
defense, but man, just stop. Andrew Luck can make us look good.
Make me GM of the Colts.
Bro, I would literally do a better job if I was GM and a coach. I swear to God.